Greetings and Hotep. I am clocked into Tarot University. And I want to say thank you to many of the tarot readers because at this point, tarot readers are risking their lives. And I guess really they have been risking their lives because whenever you're telling the truth about clandestine things that are occurring, people will leave one state, go to another state to try to hurt you. So I want to say thank you to this tarot reader. And I've been praying for tarot readers because you just never know. I want to say thank you to this tarot reader, even amidst the I listened to her too. Listen to her. They I've never been married and I have not been in a relationship for years. But it seems like somebody is trying to I don't think I've listened to Kay the reader. Somebody is trying to um, make it seem like I'm in a relationship. Yesterday, as I was outside walking the perimeter, because I do that because when I'm inside, I hear people outside talking, and God will say, "Don't go outside. Don't open the window. Don't open the cover on the window. Just let whatever go down, go down." So last week, I last week. Let me see if I can turn this down. I'm gonna do two things at one time. It might be annoying to you, but if you want to hear what I have to say, you have to force yourself to be able to listen to two things at one time also. So last week I went outside and I'm picking up out front and there was a condom wrapper. I'm like, okay. And paper, like maybe somebody was doing something, they wiped themselves and threw the paper down. So I pick all the shit up. And I'm like, here we go again, because this pattern keeps reoccurring in my life in different places. And I'm like, okay, God, am I going to have to get in stealth mode and spend the night outside under some bushes to see what's going on? Is it that important? God was like, no. You got angels, you got ancestors, you got fairies, you got orishas, you got medunetters. I mean, you are covered. You just have to be patient enough and confident enough, have enough faith to know that we're doing it the way we're doing it. And that's the bottom line. You can't force it. They can't force it. We have protocol that we're following. So I'm like, okay. So several days go by, and then yesterday I'm outside. I picked up about 7 cigarette butts, and I'm mad now. So I want to call 911 or the non-emergency number here at the Tampa Police Department and give them the cigarette butts so that they can maybe get some DNA and find out who is it outside that has time to stand here and smoke 6 cigarettes. I don't know how long it takes you to smoke cigarettes. I've never smoked. Well, in 7th grade, I had a Caucasian friend. She encouraged me to skip, I think it was history class, and we walked up to a store. I was going to Sly, and we walked up Rowlett Park Drive. And before you get up to, what is that, Yukon? That's not Yukon. Waters, maybe. There's a gas station off on the right, just like the only business on that street. Now they're building stuff now, so I don't know what else is there, but when I was in 7th grade, it was the only little business on the street in the mid. And she got a Caucasian in a pickup truck to buy her some cigarettes. And like an idiot, I got in the truck. Did I get in the truck with them to ride back? Yes, I think I did get in the truck with them and rode back. She was trying to get me to go somewhere else. I was like, no, I'm going back to school. So y'all drop me off. And so as a result of me not wanting to go, she got out too. If my memory serves me correct. I just turned 54 November 24th. So seventh grade was a lot of years ago, about 40 of them. And so she was saying, well, all you have to do is do like this. And she's explaining to me about oral sex. And I'm 14. And she uses tampons. And I don't know nothing about no tampons. So she's a little bit advanced. She said, all you got to do is just keep sucking and swallow and go, mmm. That was my last day hanging out with that, I'm going to say, old girl. Olivia's in my mouth. So that was my last day hanging out with old girl. But when I was with her, I did try to smoke a cigarette. She encouraged me to try to smoke a cigarette. And every time I tried to suck in, it's like everything in my throat, in my nose cavity was just filled with smoke. And all I could do was cough. And it was burning. And I was like, yeah, this shit ain't for me. And thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. So that was the only time I've ever tried to smoke anything. And my parents, they used to smoke Seagram's jam, drink Seagram's jam. And I stuck my finger in it and put it in my mouth and it burned my throat. And I'm like, well, God, why would anybody drink something that burns? I meant burns like burns. And I'm on a live. It's alive. It's not going to hurt your memory, okay? So, so the drinking, watching people go from acting competent to, slurring their words and talking all crazy. I said, God, please make sure that I don't ever, fall to that. And of course, I'm here, I'm in a human body, so I have faults. I have weaknesses, I have vices. But I want to thank God that I have never been dependent on heavy chemicals. I have to have sugar sometimes. Like last night, we went out to Walmart to buy some dinner, and we didn't go to Walmart. A lot was happening yesterday. I kept feeling this buzzing feeling like somebody was doing something to me. And I kept trying to pray and do my mantras, and I would get halfway through and I couldn't finish. And I was like, well, what's going on? And then when I got outside, I saw that white RV, and I said, oh, okay. I don't know what kind of spell work they doing, but they done turned it up a notch. So I said, okay, I'm going to have to turn it up a notch. So when I left last night, I put magnets in my pocket. Now, the problem with carrying magnets is if you have any cards, it can strip the, magnetic information off your card. And I don't usually carry cards, but last night, in order to buy food, I had to carry a card. And now it seems like people are trying to steal from my EBT card. Like the way they follow me, the people that get off the bus with us. Um, the guy that got off the bus with us last night, I kept trying to figure out if he was like Secret Service or CIA. And my daughter called out and said, Mom, to let me know to watch for the stop. But the same time she said it, I was switching up my normal routine. But this guy act like he could read energy, so he got off when we got off. But I said we're not going that way, so we went to Waffle House, and I asked if they could give me some grits. Well, the Angels ended up buying me some grits, and I was very displeased. I wanted to take the grits back over to the lady and say, hey, y'all need a cook? Please let me come cook y'all grits. Something is wrong. Like, these were old grits that they warmed up. And when you reheat grits, you got to boil them. You can't just put them in no, you know, pan and let them, what do you call that? You know, like when you put them on the warmer, if you're going to reheat grits, you've got to break them down and then you've got to boil them. You got to hit that temperature, let them get high again, and then you still have to add some kind of oil. And I don't know whether they use margarine or butter, but the grits just tasted like they had a film on it. It was terrible. And then, can I say that? I don't want to imply. Why am I always trying not to imply? Because I've been brainwashed by America that you have to have proof. And see, in the spiritual realm, when it hits your soul, that's your proof. And so I'm vacillating between the two worlds. After I bought some chips that usually taste salty, they didn't taste salty. And it was like, was COVID in the grits? Those were the thoughts. So this is, I have a segment that I started called Crazy Thoughts. I started it last Wednesday exactly. So my taste buds got flat. So they have been exposing me to these chemicals. My sister used to come into the house at 6010 North 32nd Street, spray some shit, and then we start sneezing and coughing. That's when they were doing those COVID studies. And oh, do you want to make this amount of money? And I'm like, hell no. And people think just because you don't have money, you'll do anything for money. But it's like things that I try to caution myself from doing is that plasma stuff. They go in and take the best and give you like maybe a couple of $100. Like, nigga, do you know what you're doing? What you are giving away? And it's like, God, please don't ever let me get down so far that I resort to bloodletting and let them take the best of me. And the other thing is those COVID studies. Like, no, because according to many activists, and you can say they're conspiracy theorists, they put harmful things in the packaging. So you think you're opening a new package of something, but what if on that swab that's supposed to test for COVID actually has the COVID virus in it? So you didn't have COVID, but when they stuck it way up your nostril, they deposited COVID up in there. So now you start showing the symptoms. Monoxynol 9. Can I say this, Lord, without it being a problem? No. Can I allude or talk around it? No. Okay, so let me leave that alone. So I try to keep things whole the way God sent me here. That's the way I always planned on staying. After I started evolving, I wasn't always into being conscious or being radical. These things begin to come out of me as a result of being abused. That's how I became an activist because people were taking advantage of me and I could tell and I wanted to do something about it. And I have gone through many seasons of different types of activism. When I was pregnant, I definitely wanted to become a midwife, and I started the process for becoming a midwife through the educational program and through becoming a lay midwife, where you have to attend a certain amount of births, become a doula and perform by helping pregnant women for a certain amount of hours. And then I signed up for Miami-Dade. Let me see. There's a college in Miami that I applied for the midwifery program. And I was going to have to commute, or their program was designed in such a way where you could in 2 days do most of your coursework and then 2 days a week and travel back and forth, so you didn't really have to commute. Can you hear that? What is that? I'm looking out the window to see if I could. I don't know what that is. I'm talking about a lot of different things as they drop down into my heart and mind. But the main thing I wanted to say is I felt frustrated yesterday because I wanted to contact some law enforcement division to give those cigarette butts and to give the condom wrapper to see if they could get any evidence off of it. Now, I'm out here picking it up with my bare hand, for one. It's in the dirt. The bag I'm putting it in is with bricks that I picked up, which have sand on them, and I just dropped it all in a bag, and there was a cup outside. And then I thought, you don't even have a law enforcement organization in Tampa, Florida that you can trust to give this information to. You know, you give it to them and then they will try to turn it on you. That's what my mind said. So I started thinking, could I mail it to um, Washington, D.C.? Then I started thinking, could I give it to a friend, well, somebody who used to be my friend back in the 90s. We were in the same community college together, and they worked for a law enforcement agency. And then I decided, just hold it and see. Then I thought, well, maybe if I take two cigarette butts, put it in an envelope, and mail it to this organization, take two, mail it to this organization, maybe something could come of it. And so I made a short. Let me see if I can go to the short. I since we've here, I have not had any company, and we got here July 28th of July 28th of 2023. After Sergeant Stein and what's his name? Sergeant Stein and Sergeant Stein of the Hillsborough County Sheriff Department. Some guy who said his name was Pepolowski, which I think it was a fake name, of the Tampa Police Department. Dr. Twiggs. Dr. Twiggs is yard guy, kind of a pudgy Spanish guy that cuts the grass over there at his building, 3304 East Hillsborough Avenue, Tampa, Florida. And then the locksmith came. So they put us out of the building, and I wonder if Anthony Catharderus Atkins, my big brother, my only brother, you do not have the right to sacrifice me. You do not have the right to sacrifice any of my five children. I don't even suggest the very low naturedness of sacrificing people. If you sacrifice yourself, the real problem will be taken care of. I expect you to tell the truth and return all of my stuff back to me. All of my checks, trusts, houses. Please don't steal our food stamp card. Please. Okay, I'm gonna stop that. So wait a minute. Smear campaign. How do I get to the one that I did yesterday? Okay, so I'm in shorts. That's the latest. So I did that short last night, but it's not coming up. That happens a lot. When I'm sleeping, the hackers, I don't know if they live in the area or if I'm just a project that they try to be close. Maybe that's why God told me to do this, because I don't see it anywhere in here. 2 weeks ago when I called the FBI. All right, and I don't know if I'm talking to the FBI because these hackers, they have sophisticated equipment and they're right here in the back. So that short is gone. So I'm gonna have to make another short. Olivia Leads with Love, well, Beauty 9415, and she's helping me to understand why yesterday a crackhead walked up to me on the bus 400, and gave me $1, and there was some Spanish Mexican looking guy. He was recording us. I think it's one of the men that live in my house at 6010 North 32nd Street, while I get to stay over here at Mr. Johnny B's house, cold and freezing on cold days. Now they are trying. And thank you to Johnny B. Smith, Sr. and Jr., because you definitely saved our lives by allowing us to be here. So I'm not ungrateful. And I said, I'll give you a banana because I bought bananas. They're creating a false narrative saying that I do things that I don't do. I've never drank, I've never smoked, I've never prostituted. Go listen to Beauty. Okay, so I don't see the um, I know I called you a faggot, but I didn't mean it. Maybe I did. I don't know. But we were arguing. You were calling me crazy. I called you a faggot. No. So, us alone. I want to say, I don't want to skip around. I was going to say something about Amalie oil. Yeah, I'm going to skip around. Last week, I saw um, a male walking past here in either I can't remember if it was the gray or the red, but it was looked like an Emily Oil uniform. And I don't know why. I've never seen anybody walk past here with Emily Oil clothes on. And the other thing is, whenever Ernest appears in my sphere, I think it has something to do with Liberty Staffing, and that's one of the companies I worked with Emily Oil through. I have been encouraging them to pay me my 4 days and trying to really find out why they won't pay me. Why won't they pay me? And I'm going to go out of here. I don't understand. When I saw Ernest on the bus, I was on a live and I said, Ernest, do you remember me borrowing your phone and calling to get a second shift? He said, yes. He said, they made me retire. Now, Ernest is walking with a what do you call it? A cane. So, okay, yeah, Ernest, is about that time to retire. But that live disappeared off of my Missing Not Missing channel and my Lily channel, my YouTube channels. I have about 5 YouTube channels. So the hackers have been gunning, I guess, to shut down all my channels because they think that's going to do something significant. So probably because they cashed out of my channels, they some kind of way got my money. They one of the intellectual properties attorneys that I had a meeting with, because the phone that I'm on, they have it cloned, and they can allow me to get phone calls or not allow me to get phone calls. So when people call me back on this phone, I know, or I assume, that they are with the shit, because the legitimate people who are supposed to call me back, they don't let them get through. So when people call me and I can talk to them, I'm like, okay, I assume that they are with the coven trying to do me something. So this is some of the stuff I collected yesterday. This cup. Now inside of this cup are some tissue papers that were probably used for them to clean themselves off, whatever. You see the cigarette butts right there. And I don't know what that is, but that was outside near the driveway. I can't. Let me see. Can I see what it says? And let me see. There's no more pics. Hold on. There is some more. Let me go over here. Okay, so. Oh, I called Donnie faggot ass. I said faggot ass Donnie Dwayne Flowers. So that's probably why they got rid of that short. because every time you see this dental floss pick, I have severe dental issues, which I used to think was because as a vegetarian, I was pregnant with twins and didn't get enough calcium after I gave birth. Well, after I was gutted like a fish at More Implant Meats Hospital in Clearwater Beach, Florida on May 26, 2004. I refused the Rogam. Now, the people were doing to my body what they wanted to do. But after I gave birth, my teeth started crumbling and falling out. I already had poor dental practices and poor dental health. So, but I still had teeth. And I guess they think if I see the little floss thing, I'm going to cry. See the difference between me and a lot of people. I try to give myself a fair assessment of my physical form. I have one tooth at the top of my head, one tooth, and maybe 10 at the bottom. That's a reality. So, why would you think that I would cry about that? I can go get implants or buy something. I mean, so I don't know what they think. Oh, they think I'm like them. I have to hide all my flaws. No, it's a reality of life. So there's two more cigarette butts. And this is the trash that I'm picking up. So I don't know whether they are outside doing things and maybe they're recording or trying to. Okay, so that's the yard next door. I was looking over their fence and you see the brick laying right there. So I don't know if they have plans to get in these people's yard and then throw a brick and hit me upside the head. And then after I fall, they're going to come bash me in the head with the bricks. This is what I think when I see the bricks. It was like 3 bricks in the yard. I see the really big piece. So as I was outside taking pictures, a guy in the yard kept, coming close to me. And I said, I know you all don't know my history, but before I came here, people were really trying to kill me. He's like, when? I said, when I was working at the golf course, at Rogers Park Golf Course. Or maybe I said, when I got shot at Rogers Park Golf Course. And I said, can I have those bricks in your yard? And he gave me the bricks. And so that way, you know, they jump over there thinking, ooh, she's outside with the dogs. Let me, throw something and bip her in the head. You can't because the bricks are gone. You got to put new bricks down. And they could just be trying to play psychological mind games so that I can talk about it. I'm not sure. Let's see, there was a really big black truck that I noticed last night at CVS. I know some of the people that I see are probably FBI, Secret Service, U.S. Marshals, and they have to look a certain way or they are in disguise, right? But energetically speaking, so what I don't see is a picture where I'm showing you the condom. That's what I don't see. Now, do I just look for the condom? Where did I put the bag? I don't even feel like getting up, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'll get up and look for this bag. Oh, shoot. Thank you, Lord. Excuse me. I hope that didn't get off. Is this the bag? This is not the bag. I'm sitting all the way down. This ain't it. Hold on, Dad. Okay, so this is the stuff that I picked up yesterday. And like I said, I picked it up with my hands, my bare hands. Sometimes when, yeah, I'm trying to look in this bag. I don't know why I didn't just look in the bag and pull it out. Let's see. I'm not really excited about touching that. Okay, so this, you can't even see. Okay, so that's the condom wrapper that was out there. The brick, some paper. I guess that's like tissue paper or something. And as you can see, it's got stuff all on it like maybe it was raining or something. So I picked up everything that was out there. I'm still touching it with my hands, which is kind of disgusting. So I think about those Lifetime movies and how people are, trying to get help and trying to expose the things that are happening to them. Let me put this back up and see this right here. They be like, it looked like somebody used it, so I don't know, that would be somebody's DNA, but what if they took it from somewhere else and brought it over here to try to set somebody else up? So this is something I want to say to the children. You just never know. The best way to handle these kind of problems is when you meet people, walk on by. You don't really have to have friends. The problem is the people that you hang out with. Everything that I'm going through right now is because of people that I gave my time and attention to. If I would have never gave these people my time and attention, I would be living a much better life right now. But I upset them and they feel like they have to get revenge on me, or during their time of knowing me, they found out I had money coming and they decided, well, shit, let's take this bitch money. You see what I'm saying? So part of the reason that I just kind of relax is because it's like, dumb bitch, dumb bitch, dumb bitch, dumb bitch, dumb bitch, dumb bitch. If you hadn't ever entertained these people, you wouldn't be suffering right now. So when they go through the phone, when they take things from me, I was looking at the mailman yesterday. I took a picture of him. Let me see. I kept feeling like they were putting my mail in the neighbor's box. It amazes me how people can come to an area. Now, we have moved, let's see. So June 2nd, 2022, we were evicted from my childhood home, 62nd Street. Let's go through. Let's see if I can Google it and if it'll come up. I was evicted from 6010 North 32nd Street, my childhood home. And A Plus Properties, Eric Allen, and is the owner, allegedly, and Evelyn Rosado is the property manager. Let's see. Can't hardly see nothing on this. 60/20. So maybe 60/10 is gone. Maybe they did burn it down and knock it down and change the address. My brother, he's a pretty sinister character, and when he wants to do something, he will get it done. So I hear rumors and I don't go check because if I get in my feelings and emotions, it's going to be some problems. Okay, so I don't know how current that picture is. Not very current because there's people, well, it was some illegal alien type people living in there, but that's my childhood home. 6010 North 32nd Street. It says built 1968. $306,000. It was last sold for $306,000. And then my sister told me to come get $19,000. That was my portion. I'm like, nah. 0.26 acres, the property, the actual building, 1,166 square feet. And so you can't go into it and see anything, but okay, so market value 154 dollars. Okay, so I was evicted from here so that they could do that, renovate it, and sell it. Even though my mother, Dorothy Atkins, put in her will, do not sell this property. Right? My mom left 6 pieces of property, and my siblings, my only and oldest brother, Anthony Catharteris Atkins, my oldest sister, Alva Melreen Atkins, and my youngest sister, Ava Raquel Atkins, they wanted to sell it. Now, they'll tell you to get a job and support your, business, but they want to take the estate that they had nothing to do with. My mom left 6 properties and it had nothing to do with them. Take the estate and run it down in the ground. So let's see, where 3212 East Jean Street. Now, while we were going through this is, I'm skipping around again. So this is now what Lawrence's house looks like. If you've been following me, that ain't Lawrence's house. Is it? No. Let me see. Do I have the address right? That's 3212. So let me go to 3202. Maybe it's 3202. Woodland Terrace. 3202 East Jean Street, Tampa, Florida. Okay, so that's Lawrence's house. So they've renovated Lawrence's house as well and took down the gate, got rid of the rocks, the rubber, and that's what his property looks like. So let's see. Okay, so they sold his house for $355,000 in 2023. And so basically there's this, I think it's like a coven. They want that community. And if you're in that neighborhood and you won't sell, or there's somebody in the property that's disagreeable, or they're not a part of the cult, they will get rid of you. So when I sent my complaint to Ashley Moody's office, I said, there's been so many deaths in my community. Lawrence Alexander Cambridge, my boyfriend that lived here, they he died allegedly July 13th of 2020. Kathy Jolly died around that time. Mr. TJ that lived across the street from us, he died. His last name was Hamilton. Betty Canty, who lived right next door to us, she died. And a year or two before that, Randy Canty died. Reuben, what is Mr. Reuben's last name? He lives a couple of, one, two, block and a half down. He died. Who else? It was somebody else. Somebody else died. The green in the greenhouse, they died, but the Greens died. The last Green, the man, Mr. Green, he was the last. He outlived his wife. That's what I'm trying to say. And I can't think of who else, but I think they hire maybe a coven to clear the neighborhood out of people who they know have that personality. They're never going to leave. And since my mom said, don't sell this house, I was like, no. Even though they sold it, what I believe my brother had his investor friends play the little game. Attorney Toby Smith. Let's see if I can look him up. He had a commercial that said, we can hide your property under fake LLCs and keep you from being attacked by basically sue hungry people. Now, that's not Toby Smith. So I wonder if that's why they attacked my YouTube channel, because I had pictures of, I recorded his infomercials. So I was really upset with Thomas about his daughter, all his children having businesses. You're going to steal my money and set your children up. Taylor Made, that used to be the name of it. And she used to have her picture. So let's see. I think they changed it to Taylor Brand and then hired some white folk to do the commercials. I think Thomas Stewart is the fake husband, one of the fake husbands anyway. LLC. I'm going to say YouTube. But when I went to his house not too long ago to ask him if he knew anything, if my family had approached him, he ain't know nothing about nothing. He ain't have no money. That's what he said. That doesn't mean he told the truth, but okay. So things have changed. So basically, the whole business world is being fueled by how to not be accountable for your actions, right? So I don't understand that. Bought an LLC with Taylor Brands. Here's the good and the bad.
What you can see on the screen here is your actual dashboard. I created an LLC called the Costanza Wallet. If you get the reference, feel free to let me know in the description below. I just wanted to kind of show you really quick what your dashboard looks like. First one was testing support. Please note that Taylor Brands cannot provide you with legal advice. If you're calling about an existing LLC application, please press 2. So later in this video, but I wanted to talk about this. How long did it take to file the LLC? Well, this one was a tough pill to swallow. Yeah, if you look at this shocking graphic, as we're calling it, this was the difference in speed between each LLC service. And Taylor Brands took 19 days, 2 hours, and 2 minutes. Now, other services such as LegalZoom was under 2 hours. Busy was same day filing, or next day filing. And then Zwift and Zen Business were longer as well. But I'm not sure why it took so much longer. I filed all the LLCs in the same state of Colorado within an hour of each other. and it took 19 days to get the official word back that the LLC had been filed with Taylor Brands. So not so great. But how many upsells? This one is just kind of where I went into each service, and I wanted to see how many times they're going to email me after the fact. Taylor Brands gave me 15 emails after 43 days of ordering the LLC, which is about middle of the pack. Because with filings was by far the worst. I think affiliate links in the description below. Now, why would you use my link? Well, we have a special promotion here because I do get compensated when you use the link and it's still free plus state to use, so it's still the same price. But we have something we're calling Fueling the Front Lines here, and we're associated with a charity called Crisis Services of Western New York, and we donate $20 on your behalf to that charity when you use one of our affiliate links to set up your LLC. Now, one of the cool things is that you can see in the first 4 months of this year, we've been able to donate over $26,000 to this charity based on people using our affiliate links. Now, what the charity does
What
is
I'm
they
doing
answer the
is looking
phones and
up my
texts of
other
people in their moment of crisis. They can be a domestic issue, it can be a
channels.
personal crisis, but they make sure that those people get their support and resources that they need. And
So
we
these
support those
people, I
people
guess they
instead.
think I'm going
So
to
again, thank you for using my
cry
links in the description
because
below to help support our
they
local charity.
are
Now, I do want to show you the overall
attacking my
grade for Taylor Brands here and where that grade came from. So Taylor Brands got a grade of C. And that is because they had
attacking my
great customer
channel,
service, but very poor
but
terms
they
and
don't
conditions, and it's
understand.
costly compared to the other services.
I
And
get
again,
my
you will find
peace
all of the
from
grades below in the
obeying
description,
the
but I would
creator.
highly
The
suggest you watch
creator
this
said,
video
I
here because
need
it walks
people
you through the
who
same
will do
process
what I
for
tell
all the
them to
top
do
services so you know which
without
service will meet your
question,
needs the best.
without
So I'm going
thinking,
to catch you
oh,
in that
well,
next
I
video. And
need to
again,
make
thank you for
money. When are
using
you
my
going to
links in the
pay me?
description.
I didn't get
All
my
right, catch you there.
paycheck. La, 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 la. I just need you to do because you're going to be blessed, beyond blessed, if you just obey. And so that's where my life is, regardless of what takes place and what goes up, what goes down. Okay. That's my children's email address, and they need cash, so that's their cash apps. And I was asking their birth father to send them some money because they were really in dire straits. And I talked to both of them, and they said they received $0. So maybe you all could send them 10, 50, $100 and help them. And I'll pay you back eventually. I'll get my money eventually. Okay, so I need an attorney to help me sue Metro PCS. There's no way around it. We bought this phone on the 12th. A lot of problems. Receipt is disappearing. I think right. Okay, so you see that right there. I paid $60. That's my name, Aileen Dorothea Atkins. That's my account number. Then I asked a stranger in the store to loan me $11 so we could buy a tablet because it's three of us, my two girls and me, and everybody's kind of addicted to this internet. So this way, me and one of the girls could share a tablet. Me and my youngest Abby and Angola could have the phone because she's most addicted and she draws. Now they're telling me my high security password does not work and I have to go into the store where they stole my tablet and tried to do fraud on me. Okay, so I need an attorney to help me sue Metro PCS. Metro PCS, I think they're from, I think that whole organization is mostly from the Middle East somewhere. And Metro PCS has been a blessing to poor people because if you cannot afford and you don't have good credit to really get with a legitimate phone company, Metro PCS, all you need is, maybe $100 and you can get you a little piece of phone and unlimited conversations for sure, and unlimited access to the internet if you don't mind it slowing down occasionally. But they kept stealing the $30 discount that the government gives you if you have EBT. If you're poor, they were giving like a $30 discount, and I had to file complaints against that, and then the program went away, allegedly. What is it called? It won't even come to my memory. So maybe I'm not supposed to be talking about that. So I have poor technology. When we get these tablets from Metro PCS, we don't spend $30 to get a cover. And when you drop it, you see what happens. So this one is relatively new and it's already cracked up. So I can spend another $20 to get another one from Metro PCS. The only problem is when I go to replace this one, to remove this one and replace it, they want to charge me $10 more a month for a service on this. So I just decided I'll just hold on to it. Then they want to charge you another $25 activation fee when technically you can move your Sims card from this one to the other one. And you used to be able to call the 1-800 number and just activate it. But they're in business, so, that's how business is. They always want to get a little more, a little more, a little more. So this live is probably not going to end up on my feed either. So I don't know why I keep thinking it's Paul Hanna Jr. messing around in my YouTube. Maybe because he's an earth sign. And occasionally his videos come up on my feed, but God has not given me permission to watch. I watched maybe a couple for sure through the last couple of years. But when I pass by and I go, God, can I watch that? I get no. So I don't play with the creator like that. I don't know enough about this, witchcraft. I know people play games. And I felt like when I met him in 2003, he was gaslighting me. I didn't know the term gaslighting, but I just felt like, he keeps saying he likes me, but I don't really feel that he really likes me the way his words are expressing like. Now, this was back in 2004. Right now, I look really, not really unattractive, but kind of unattractive. Whatever chemical they were feeding to me impacted my bone and it changed the my facial shape and kind of like shrunk down my features. What I realize now, even with my teeth coming out, they may have been poisoning me with some kind of chemical that causes your bones to become brittle. It messed with my calcium. I was taking so many vitamins, I should still be a beautiful brick house. But there's some chemicals in this world that can really mess you up. So now I try to make it my business. If I have to go thirsty, I just don't hardly drink. I get water bottles, I give them to the dogs, and I'm like, I pray over them. I give the water bottles to the dogs and most of the food that we get from churches. Now I give to the dogs, and I say, if you're going to make sure that you stay alive, you just can't eat any and everything. And things are going well. I'm not feeling the pains. Last night, somebody hit me with the little energy weapon, and I felt the burning. And I did my little exercises to get that energy from locked up in my tissue. And I'm going to, some kind of way, can I say that? Make me a suit of copper that I wear underneath my clothes. Copper and magnets. I want to tear these energy weapons up. And I've been trying to get some more information about how they work and what technology can cancel out the effects. And I haven't really gone into that. I figure that's going to be kind of technical, but what I have to do now is make sure we have pretty much clean clothes. We can take baths, clean undergarments, clean socks. I put on my white socks last night. You saw them already getting dirty. And see, one day, look at that. One little day. and not even one day. I put them on and we went out to the store, and already I either need to wash them or put on another pair of socks, right? And I don't have any more socks right now, so I'm gonna have to put those on. So maybe I'll have to wear tennis shoes instead of slides. And the yard is very dusty. If I go stand outside with the dogs, they kick up the dirt, and then you're just dirty already. So I try not to take my life too serious right now, because the goal is to stay alive, to stay mentally stable, sane, and to find work. As I have been complaining, I have been blocked from working at Emily Oil by Liberty Staffing over on 124th Avenue and Florida Avenue and 124th Street or Avenue in Tampa. When I go to People Ready, they tell me I've been blocked, and I was already signed up for JobStack, but they wanted me to come in and sign something so that I could get jobs. And it's like, no. The reason I don't go sign things is because they will, have you sign one thing, I'm alleging, and move that signature over somewhere else and be like, oh no, she signed this agreement. She said she wouldn't sue us and whatever. I ain't saying nothing because I don't know enough to say anything. I don't know what all has been done to me. So I didn't go sign that. At that Higher Quest place, they're demanding that I sign up for health insurance, and it's like, no, I don't want your health insurance, because there's people going to the doctor as me. They might have went to the hospital as me, and these whores might have AIDS, and they might have mental problems, and then they're using my name, going to the doctor and including this as a part of my medical record. So no, I don't want that. And because I wouldn't sign it, I can't get work. Now, the one day I did work with Higher Quest as the elevator operator over when they were building the new Moffat. I keep thinking it's on McKinley, but for some reason I want to. It was either McKinley or 30th Street. They gave me a check that said Egypt Lake, Florida. And I'm like, Mama, why would you put Egypt Lake, Florida on my check? That's not my address. And I took it to the little corner store up the street and got it cashed. But a lot of these labor pools, they do a lot of shady shit in the back. And when you call them on it, then they will block you from assignments. So I'm overqualified for most of the assignments they send me on, but I need quick work. I need quick money. And I need not to have to completely commit myself right now to being here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 9 to 5, so to speak. And that's because the people messing around in my life, they have me in this inconsistent way of living. And it won't be always. So when God gave me YouTube, they attacked the YouTube too. I get $0 from YouTube. And I don't know, I keep wanting to say I want to talk to Paul, but he's an earth sign. He ain't going to tell me no truth. It's going to be an act for the most part. That's what I feel. So for my birthday was November 24th of this year, 2024. I turned 54. And I went on YouTube and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to start visiting you guys. And I want to, people from my past, I want the gift of truth. So I went to John Waldron first. And John Waldron said, oh, I don't know nothing about no trust fund. I don't know anything. And he reminded me that he has been diagnosed with a cognitive deficit. And he said something about, remember when we went to Woodbridge? It's a nursing home. So I don't know if Mr. John was trying to get me to admit that I went to Woodbridge, as in I was in Woodbridge. I only went there to visit Mr. John. And I visited Mr. John at St. Joseph Hospital with his niece Margie. And then they moved him to an intensive hospital called off of Armenia and Hillsborough. What's the name of the hospital? Am I supposed to put that hospital on this feed? No. Okay, so I'm not going to go look that up. And after he left that intensive hospital, they sent him to Woodbridge Hospital, which is off of Sheldon Road and Hillsborough, back behind that plaza that holds, it now has a Five Below. Five Below is where the Salvation Army once was. And there's an Aldi's in that plaza. And on the street, you see CVS at the front of the plaza. But back there is Woodbridge. That's a nursing home where John Waldron went for rehab. Okay. And after rehab, he came home. And when the therapist came over to do his exercises, I would try to be there because I allowed him to use my name and tell those people that I lived with him so that they would allow him to come home. And I did that for Mr. John because Mr. John has been giving me great information that has been life changing. And that's why I was really hurt when I thought Mr. John was lying to me and helped my family go behind my back and get some kind of power of attorney or conservatorship over me. That really hurt my feelings. And not only hurt my feelings, hurt my life. They evicted me, four of my children, my nephew, and sold the house. And now, out of the six houses that my mother left, I have received zero properties. And I know people have left me money, left me properties, but if there's a conservatorship or power of attorney over me, I guess I don't have access to those things. So they allow me to live in squalor while they use my money and buy Mercedes and, nice cars and nice things. And me and my children get to suffer. After I left John Waldron's house, another couple of days later, I went to visit Josie Thomas. Josie Thomas has blessed my life. Because of Josie Thomas, I know how to make money by selling oils. I buy these perfume oils and we put them in bottles and we sell oils. Josie Thomas helped me with when I moved me find a place to stay in New York. Because of Josie Thomas, I stayed at Emma's house. I got offered a job, $600 a week at Emma's house, and I would have been starting a position in August to work as a teacher in New York. That was back 1999, 2000. Now, Josie Thomas said none of my family approached him, but the way he said, not your family, made me think that somebody else approached him. Maybe somebody from my fake friend group. And, but he didn't give any details, of course. And I said, somebody's been driving my car. No, I said, somebody gave my name to the police when they got stopped and they put a hit and run on my record. He said, yeah, it's a wonder they didn't arrest you. It's amazing you didn't get arrested. I said, yes. And when I went to talk to the detectives at the Tampa Police Department, they said my car, that on the accident report, it said that the car was red. I said, you remember what color car I drove, Josie? And Josie said, yes, burgundy. Or did he say maroon? I can't remember. And it's like, wait a minute. I know Josie saw that orange car. It was Mango Tango Orange. So I thought, whoa, well, maybe Josie was a part of hemming me up with this fucking fake hit and run. I don't know if the hit and run was real or not because I didn't hit anybody and leave the scene. I don't know who did this, right? So I was telling the detective, you all have got to get this off of my record. I didn't do these things. Now, several days after I left Josie Thomas's house, he blessed me with a couple of bottles, 9 bottles to be exact, so that the girls could sell. Because when I ordered this oil, I didn't have enough money to get the 4 dozen bottles to get it. So it was important for me to have the 2 pounds of oils, and so I had to take some of the bottles off, and so I have oil, but I don't have the little bottles to put the oil in it to sell it. So I'm like, Lord, what other way can I sell the oil? And God said, go buy some coconut oil and put the perfume in the coconut oil and sell it that way. So I went and bought a bunch of these, and I'm going to put the perfume oil in the coconut oil. And that way, when you get ready to go somewhere and you oil down your skin, it will smell like the perfume. But I haven't done that yet. So the next person I went to go visit was Thomas Stewart. I went to Thomas Stewart. I visited with him briefly. And I asked him if he knew anything about what was going on with my life being torn down, and did anybody approach him. He said no. And I said, okay, well, do you know where that long head bitch is, or something like that? I said. And he's like, who? I said, do you know where Letitia is? And he acted like he ain't know Letitia Karima Penn. And I said, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I said, wait a minute, why is he acting like he don't know Letitia? So Letitia must have been instrumental in helping him do something against me. And I said to him, your maid has been following me. He said, are you okay? As to ask me if I was mentally okay. I said, in a white Tesla. And I said, I think your son's wife, because one of his sons is married to a white lady, is driving. The lady who was following me, his maid from the VA, she's so cute and petite, but when she was following me that day, she had the energy of like a gangster. The way she was moving in and off the back of the bus, and can I find those pictures? No. When I tried to go back and find the pictures, they were deleted out of the phone. So now I have to go through the headache of getting old technology, taking a picture of it, and holding it that way. Remember the old little phones? You put a memory card in it, you can take pictures, but it's not connected to the internet or anything like that. So your pictures are safe. They have to physically come and take the phone in order to remove the pictures off the device. So I do that with pictures that are very important to me. And if it's ever been on your phone, there are certain law enforcement agencies that have the technology to go through your phone and still take those pictures off of your phone. So just because they delete it off the phone doesn't mean it's gone. But you and I, common lay people, don't have access to that. And what else did I find interesting about my conversation with Thomas? He asked me where my children were. Now, this time I got smart. The last years ago, when I was visiting his house and his apartment, and he would say, where are your children? I would say, they're at the house. What do you mean at the house? And I would be detailed. And he would say, wait a minute. And he would go into his room, and I don't know what he was doing, but I believe he had a lot to do with me being let go from my job at Micon, the box making factory that I was working at in Oldsmar, because he kept saying, well, where do you work? Where do you work? I said, I don't even want to talk about it. I'm ashamed. And he would push, push, push. He wanted the details. So he was instrumental in tearing down my life in the background. And I was giving him the information to tear me down. So this time when he said, where are your children? I said, they're safe. But that doesn't mean that he didn't have people follow me or tap into the device or whatever. But it was like I wasn't going to just give him information. So after leaving Thomas's house a couple of times, I saw his friend, Pastor Eva. And this time when the bitch got on the bus, instead of me staying still, I got up, I looked at her, I rolled my eyes, and I moved. She got on the bus at Florida and Bush. And she backed on the bus, so she knew she was on some bullshit. And I was sitting right at the front because I had big bags. And she got on the bus talking about Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. I looked at that buck-tooth bitch and moved to the back. I was like, oh, hell no. Because, see, this is the thing. If you have something to say to me, be direct and say what you want to say. Don't come on pretending to be a friend when you're a foe. Okay? I learned that from my nephew turned me on to the 48 Laws of Power. And when I started reading it, I said, oh, this is some real BS right here. So when people tell me, oh, yeah, I ascribe to the 48 Laws of Power, I usually try to get away from those people. I don't say it to them, but I try to get away from those people. And then God said, you see the common theme, right? You done went to 3 different people and don't nobody know nothing. So you don't need to keep going and visiting these people from your past. They ain't gonna tell you no truth. If you had any real friends in the bunch, you wouldn't be in the predicament you're in. You wouldn't be. And so I stopped the visits. I stopped the visits. So if there's anybody who was hoping that I was going to come back your way to come have a conversation and you were going to gaslight me and lie to me and make it sound fly to me, God has nixed the program. So I guess that's really just what I wanted to say. I guess I'll be doing these updates daily or every other day or weekly just to talk about what's going on in this whole smear campaign. And you all already know about my saga with the red, white, and blue thrift store and me buying that Coleman grill and it didn't work. Then I went to the thrift store. That was Saturday, and spent $53 and some change on a DeWalt something, and it doesn't work. So I really want this product because I can get 4 batteries, charge them up, and this thing, even if I'm not where I can plug it up, I can I can still use it. I can still have access to power. Now the problem with this is the back of it. When I bought it from the thrift store, I plugged it up, and he said it takes a little while for the battery to charge, right? And he probably doesn't know how things work, or maybe he does. This thing right here needs to be replaced. So this is about $50. This right here is a battery pack. This is the 18 volt. So I need another one of these. And I went in this little place right here, and somebody bought me some batteries while I was in Home Depot. I asked them if you would please buy me one of these. The Home Depot I went to Sunday, they said they don't have the 18 volts anymore. They only have the 20 volt. His name was what? Bernie? There's no telling. People lie all the time, but it was a little Spanish guy in the tool rental department division. And this says 2011-1145-FN. So I guess I'm going to have to take this back to the pawn shop and get my $50 back. And then maybe I'll go buy me a gas burner so that we cook our food. So I keep trying to solve my problems. I bought this because I don't have the $300 to buy another jackery. We need another solar generator because even if these, we need another one of these. This is our jackery generator. It's on 8% right now, so we're going to have to get out of here and go to the library and plug it up or something. So I need another one of these for Abby, and then each of the girls will have one. And for myself, I need the 3000. You see, this is the Explorer 300, so it's handheld and you can just walk around with it. But I want the 300 version so that I can cook, I can plug up a heater, I can iron clothes, you know. It carries more electrical wattage, and money is hard to come by, even though there's a lot of money attached to my name. Whoever the power of attorney, trustee, I don't know how it works, is taking my money. So yesterday when I was talking and I said that faggot ass Donnie Dwayne Flowers, I was really getting frustrated. And here I am repeating it again, not with the same anger that I did yesterday. So after I said that, what did I notice yesterday after I said that? It doesn't really matter. They don't really matter. God is plucking them off. He's at the little final edge, giving them their last little opportunities to get right, which they won't. They're like, ooh, I have all of this money at my disposal, and she doesn't know. And then they don't even care how me and my children are living because we are experiencing indoor camping. But everybody around us, it seems, are a part of these little schemes to take our money. And it's just taking some of the flavor out of life because you look at people and they look like they're decent, but then somebody comes along and offers them a little money to do you something and they go along with it. I'm talking about old people. And I don't know why I equate old with wise or righteous, but it's just not so. So, whew, good enough for heaven, ever cursed, ever lied or stolen, ever lusted or hated anyone before. Clark Kent. Okay, well, he ain't even got a real name. I don't know. I don't want to get into talking or even judging these commenters. They're gone anyway. I got 0 likes and 0 persons. And there was an Otis that said hi and a Rawan that said racist. That's another thing. There's a lot of people who create fake accounts and help. They sell views to people. And it's like, why would you ever buy views? I guess what I'm just learning is that there's a lot of really messed up people in the world. Their mind doesn't tick right. And I don't know if there is a restraining order that prevents people from coming to say to me what they want to say, but people of my past, if you all really have something to say, you should just come say it. I mean, I am talking about things that is coming up in my heart and head. And when I say things like, I think Paul Hanner Jr. is messing with my YouTube, I could be wrong. Now, I'm not going to Ruskin or Gibsonton to try to find Paul to say, Paul, you messing with my shit? He's a earth sign, so I went to his page and said a couple of things based on a tarot reading. It resonated with me. She didn't say my name. She didn't say Paul's name. She was just giving a reading, energetically picking up things. And energetically speaking, the reading was saying that his somebody he knew had been sexually active with his father. And I was like, wait a minute, I hope they ain't spreading that lie about me. And it was important enough for me to make it known that I didn't hunt your daddy. So I went over there to say that. So it's lagging. He blessed me with a couple of bottles, 9 bottles to be exact, so that the girls could sell because when I ordered this oil. So I want to basically just close out this whole people of my past. I don't plan on doing any more visits to ask you all to tell me the truth. I don't think you're going to tell me the truth. I lost faith in that. And I want to thank God for entertaining me as I went to visit John Waldron, Josie Thomas, and Thomas Stewart. Now, I presented myself to you and I gave you an opportunity to apologize if there was anything to apologize for, and to ask for my forgiveness if there was anything to ask for my forgiveness for. And neither one of them had that posture. So I am certain that if I were to go over to 1316 East 15th Avenue, I want to say, and risk my life and go talk to Donnie, I would not go into the house because, it would have to happen on the porch. Donnie, do you know anything about you being a trustee or there being a trust fund, or have you gotten any money off of my name? Because I've never given Donnie any money. I've never given Donnie any houses. I've never given Donnie any property. I've never given Donnie any cars. So I'm sure Donnie would say, I don't know anything. If I went and asked Donnie, do you know anything about me having property in Colorado? Do you know anything about somebody using my son's ID to go and get a power of attorney over me in Colorado? Do you know anything about any funds in Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Regions Bank, Sandy Springs? I'm sure he's going to tell me no. Now, I talked to Anthony, my brother, last week. Last Wednesday, I dropped off a plate to my daughter, a set, who was with my brother at my grandmother's house, 2913 East 20th Avenue. I dropped the plate off and I gave her a $2 bill because they were giving away $2 bills. And I asked him for two more for my girl. And he looked at me. I said, I have 5 children. So I gave a set her $2 bill, and Gola used her $2 bill to get on the bus, to get a bus pass. And I spent my $2 bill on a pair of pants at Plato's Closet. Did I spend my $2 bill at Plato's Closet? Because they're having a 90% off sale. It might be gone now, but I've been adding clothing items that are comfortable and soft to my repertoire. Thank you, Plato's Closet. We love you. And she said she was okay. I asked her if she had a coat. She said no. I told her I would bring her one the next day, but the next day God said, don't go back over there. And I found out that she left there and went somewhere else. I woke up and I had a really bad dream, a nightmare. And I called, I wanted to say my brother. I called Anthony, who is my only brother, oldest brother as far as I know. The one I grew up with at 6010 North 32nd Street with my two sisters. Anthony's the oldest, then Alva, then me, Aileen, then Ava. Dorothy Atkins was our mama. Arthur Atkins was our daddy. I was in church one day, I was about 26 years old, and my mother, Dorothy Atkins, pointed out an African man, tall, man of distinction, very sharp cheekbones. I would say the cheekbones look like mine, very sharp chin. He was an erudite man. And she said, "That's Upshaw." That's all she said. Now, I didn't have sense enough to say, "Mom, why are you pointing Upshaw out to me?" I ain't had that kind of sense. And when I went to New York to live, she was crying, saying, "Come home, come home." Now, what I recognize now, when I was in New York, there was this black young girl who was a paralegal who would always end up in my same area. She said she was from Jacksonville, Florida. The other thing I noticed is that I was at the Lenox Lounge because I lived on 120th at the Emmaus house. That was between St. Nicholas and Lenox. Now, I wandered into this bar called the Lenox Lounge and ended up meeting a police officer. I don't know why I found that to be strange. I had a driver's license, so I was able to find work pretty quickly, like little hustle jobs, because a lot of people in New York don't, at that time, didn't have driver's license. So I drove the delivery truck for Emma's house and I went to pick up things that were being donated to the church. And I joined the Toastmasters Guild. I was one of the founding members of the Harlem Toastmasters Guild. And I regret coming back to Tampa, Florida, but my mom begged me to come back, her and my brother. And still to this day, I don't know why they would want me to come back here when they know when I'm in Tampa, I'm always trying to be Miss Activist, right? In New York, my creative side got an opportunity to rise up. And I like that side of myself. But I came back. I left an opportunity to be making $70,000, and that's a pretty good chunk. Even still today, that's a pretty good chunk. But we're talking about in, what was that, 1999, 2000. I had a place to stay. I liked it at Emma's house. It was nice enough. I always lived in Harlem. I wanted to live in Strivers Row. And I guess I'll still get the opportunity to buy a home or maybe buy one third of a home in Strivers Row. Me and two other people can buy a house there and I can live there in our summer. The summer here in Tampa, Florida has gotten sonified. So I have this little corny joke that I tell. We don't have summers in Florida. We have saunas in Tampa. So, and in Miami too. I lived in Opelika with Anthony at 700 East Harem, Opelika, Florida for about 18 months. And it was, whoa. I mean, we were walking on Miami Beach and I was like, it doesn't even matter that you're on the beach. It's so hot. You feel like you're walking in a sauna. And so, yeah, when it gets really hot, when I leave church on Easter Sunday, I'll just continue on to my New York Strivers Row location and hang out there for a little bit until it gets a little bit cooler in Tampa, and then I'll come back. But I already told my children, God said we're going to have 6 different homes in 6 different locations. So, what they're trying to steal from me now, what they are removing my name off the will and this and that, even though the papers exist, I am alleging that we have a pretty corrupt courthouse here in Tampa, Florida. And it turns out you can buy Innocence, you can buy. Guilt, you can buy. Other people's, other people's, what am I trying to say? You can buy. Should I go to the 13 Jews or no? Don't do any of that. You can buy other people's property through the probate court. You know, all you need is a couple of corrupt people in the right position. Okay, God said don't go down that road. So, is there anything else I need to say before leaving? Well, let's inspire you in this way. For anybody that gets an opportunity to listen to this live, let's, okay, Creator, lead me to some herb or some something to give them. This is the introduction. I don't know why I don't want to read the introduction, but what did we fall upon here? Okay. Alcohol is one of the most damaging substances to the stomach and the small intestines. It reduces the absorption of nutrients in the small intestines and is one of the, let me see, I'm trying to read through the camera. Yeah, it says few. One of the few substances that can penetrate the lining of the stomach to cause damage. Gastric secretions increase with alcohol consumption, causing excess acidity and diluting digestive enzymes. This can lead to gastritis. Okay, so I guess I'll leave you with that. And then I'm going to flip over here to see what is the ailment that alcoholism. So, alcoholism, and then I got this great book when I was there trying to blood sugar problems, cardiovascular problems, gastrointestinal problems. Wow, it really causes, break shit down. Neurological problems, cancer, birth defects, sexual function, or menstrual problems. And what are some of the essential things to help? Free form amino acid complex can help. GABA, B5, B vitamins, alpha lipoic acid, calcium and magnesium, multi-enzyme complex. All right, is Alva around here? Primrose, vitamin C, grapeseed extract or phypinogenol, acidophilus, coenzyme A, inositol, lecithin granules, liquid, that's that liquid kyolic, which is, I believe, garlic. Let me see. Is directed, produces liver and brain cells, reduces stress. Okay, signs and symptoms of alcohol abuse and alcoholism. Drinking alone or in secret, not remembering commitments, conversations, having blackouts, ritualizing drinking at certain times, places, or events, not caring anymore about long-term hobbies, interests, activities, feeling an overwhelming need for a drink, irritability and agitation increasing as normal drinking time nears, hiding alcohol at work, home, in the car, when drinking, gulping drinks, ordering doubles or setups, getting intoxicated to feel normal, having problems with finances, social interactions, relationships, employment, building up a tolerance to alcohol that requires more of the same to hit the same plateau. Having physical withdrawal symptoms when you can't drink, such as sweating, shaking, or nausea. Liberty Staffing, you all owe me so much more, but can y'all pay me for those 4 days that I worked in dumping? Now, I did a live, and Ernest was on the bus with me, and oh, it's at 100%. So I'm gonna unplug this since this phone is at 100%. Um, they, I asked him on camera, Ernest, didn't I use your phone to call and get a second assignment? He said, yep. I said, do you know that phone number? He said, I got a different phone number now. And Ernest was working in dumping when I started working there. I only worked in dumping for two, about 2 weeks, but they didn't pay me for 4 of those days. And should I say that? Yes. I wore a vest. It looked like a bulletproof vest because the hackers were really bold back then. And this is a couple of years ago, but I still didn't get paid and I still need to be paid. And I need to be taken off the DNR list so that I can go to work and prepare myself for Christmas. My children deserve a decent Christmas. And the money that is under my name, these people around here telling people I'm dead. Anthony Atkins is telling people, I don't know if he's still telling people I'm dead, but they were telling people I'm dead. That's what Dave, a white guy that used to live across from Potter Elementary on a 25 by 100 foot plot of land out, they put pallets down and built themselves a home with pallets and a tent. The tent, like the kind you can drive your car under. And Dave said, I came to your house. Your brother told me that, what did he say? You didn't live here anymore? Or, yes, Dave said you didn't live here anymore. So I haven't actually met anybody who they told that I was dead. So maybe, Clarence, is that why you didn't come and check on your daughter in 18 years? Well, I meant she'll be 18 February 25th. Did Natalie, Renee Carnegie, or somebody in my family tell you that I was dead? Or were you a part of the scheme and scam? Are you the one that was living in Pennsylvania and had my daughter enrolled in school so y'all could get a check? Now I'm getting ready to talk to baby daddies. Do I need to do this, Lord? Yes. Okay, well, Abraham Vada Jones, are you still on 42nd Street off of Hannah with your mother, Martha O'Donnell? Can you explain to me where the child support check goes to? Somebody in my family or somebody in your family? And if you're getting disability now, shouldn't my child be getting a disability check? So my children are here with me as they have been since I pushed them out in the bathroom. Angola, I gave birth to at 6010 North 32nd Street, February 25th, 2007. DCF came and took her into their custody for 24 hours. They recorded her as having a different name as Angolia, IA, and her name is Angola with no I. And they gave her a different birthday. They were looking at my baby talking about something, oh, there's no way you gave birth to this baby today. It's like, yes, I did. So I think they added 10 days to her birthday. They put her birthday as being in March when she was born, February 25th, 2007. Now, if Letitia Karima Penn would tell the truth, she could verify that. Brent, if they haven't killed him or sent him back to Grenada. If Brent is still here, he could confirm that. My sister Alva could confirm that. We were living together at the time. And East and West, that's Wesley Allen, is West, the astrologer, and East, Clarence Joseph Washington Jr., my sensei, called and I said, "Hey, I'm in labor. Y'all need to come back." And he said he had something to do and he left to go do it and he must still be doing it because he ain't come back to check on me or the baby. And she'll be 18, yay, February 25th of this year, 2024. God is the best daddy. I mean, when you disobey and you do stupid things, it causes rifts in your life, but I'm thankful for all of my children that are here. They all saved me in different ways and gave me validation and or proof that God loved me. The baby that I had on my birthday, I was so proud. It was like God loved me enough to give me a perpetual birthday gift. And that child and I grew up together. And because my mom was still alive and my dad was still alive, it was pretty easy sailing. But around the teenage part, it started getting rough. My parents split up and moved to separate houses. When they were living together, my dad was, a severe alcoholic and beating on my mom, and that made it hard. But as far as stability, it was a great support system because you always knew you had a place to go, a place to get resources from. When they separated, it got really different. Even though I was proud of my mom for finally leaving my dad. So now I want to say something to the Upshaw family. I don't know what part of Africa you're out of, but can you come and help me understand whether or not I am a part of your bloodline or anybody who knows? Now, Dwayne Ware. For some reason, I really do want to talk to you, even though I think you're going to lie to me. Now, you said you were born October 4th. You have the same birthday as my mama. She's a Libra. Libras represent justice, but I don't think you're going to give me justice. I don't think you're going to tell me the truth. Did you record the conversation we had that day when you popped up out of nowhere, probably sent on assignment by Anthony to ask me questions about Upshaw and whether Upshaw was the one in East Tampa? If that was my daddy, you showed me a picture. I'm like, I don't think that's him. But it had been 25, 26, 27, almost 30 years since I saw the man. So his features could have changed. And did you, some kind of way, get money that was intended for me? Were you involved in selling my dumb bitch rap to Kendrick Lamar? I have a lot of questions. The biggest question I have is how could a woman have so much money attached to her and on a weekly basis have access to $0? Even if I had a trustee, isn't a trustee supposed to get me some cash, pay my rent, pay my storage bills or something? Aren't I supposed to know that I have a trustee? Aren't I supposed to know that I have a power of attorney? Aren't I supposed to know that I have some kind of conservatorship? Aren't I supposed to be able to access my trust fund financial papers? Aren't I supposed to be able to apply to be my own fiduciary if I feel I'm competent? I know y'all pay the little doctors to tell lies and things, but God is great. So, how long has this been going on? Did y'all take the money that George Powell Jr. left me? Did Lawrence Alexander Cambridge leave me things and y'all took it? Hmm? Did Albert Clayton leave me something and y'all took it? What about Dr. Conley? I was about to say, what about Dr. Twiggs? I hope Dr. Twiggs didn't let them people kill him. Oh, Lord have mercy. What about what Dorothy Atkins left me? What about what Arthur Atkins left me? Now, the dog was just crying and whining. Y'all heard the dog, right? Usually, when that happens, it makes me think that my sister, my oldest sister, Alva Atkins, is around. She has a whistle that she blows, I'm alleging, that causes the dog to have, he reacts to the whistle. And I believe she was just in this area. She's probably tapping into this phone. This live will probably disappear also. I'm alleging that she bought a death certificate from off of the dark web, and presented it to whoever, and stole the money that Arthur Atkins left me. Did y'all take stocks and bonds that were left to me by Lindsay Atkins, my granddaddy, who coined the song Tom Tom Greedy Gut, Greedy Gut, Greedy Gut, Tom Tom Greedy Gut, Greedy Gut, Greedy Gut. That was his nickname for me. So Irene P. Scarborough definitely left me something and y'all stole that too. So Gideon Henley, Catherine Henley, Uncle Pumpkin, aka Gideon Henley, and your wife Catherine, can y'all get me some straightening here in Tampa? Did you give my portion to somebody to bring back from Georgia? Did you give it to cousin Toy, Andrea Smith? Did Grandma Irene give me 2913 East 20th Avenue in her will? Now Anthony is over there living in the property. Did she give it to me? Now I'm over here begging them to let me use the wood burning stove that's in the back room. They never gave me permission. Toy never said yes. And I know Anthony ain't gonna let me use nothing. Unless he's changed. I mean, I'll leave a small little opportunity for change. Why is it that so many people are eating off of me? 10, 20, 30, 40, about 50 people. And my children and I are sitting over here with $0. God is trying to teach me something. Okay. All right. I'm up for the lesson. So I need you all to pray for us. We're begging for 1 billion prayers. For you young children, I want you all not to join these covens and these so called gangs. They will tell you all of these wonderful things about, oh, yeah, we'll get you a car. You'll always have a place to stay. I want you to know that the Creator is the only gang you should join. But if you are contemplating joining these covens, these gangs, look at the people around and don't look at the little car. You know, they might have a little shiny Mercedes. Ask if it's paid for. They might be living in a house that look all right. Ask if it's paid for. And then study their movements. You can only sell yourself into bondage by joining these groups. And I want to encourage you all to stand firm, stand strong. It's okay if you have to struggle. I mean, it's okay if you have to buy a storage unit and sneak in and out of it to stay free, unencumbered. Because when you make these deals with these groups, when they call you and tell you to come, you got to come. When they call you and tell you you got to do something, for the most part, you got to do something, or they might, threaten to kill you. Have you ever thought about having to kill somebody, having to poison somebody, having to hurt somebody's child, having to kidnap somebody? This is the kind of stuff that they're doing behind the scenes. Having to put your job on the line to go into somebody's medical records and put in their medical records they got AIDS. Having to go in somebody's medical records and say that they had a baby when they didn't. I remember being young and hot headed and thinking I knew everything, and, thinking that my parents were not hip and they didn't know what was going on. If I had been able to listen to my parents and take their mistakes and apply it to my life, I would have had less bumps and bruises. And hopefully you can learn from your elders, but more than likely you'll take the hard knock path too. So pray for my family and I. Peace, prosperity, and protection. I'm signing out at 1 minute 50, 1 hour, 51 minutes and 15 seconds.